guys, I'm Nandi.
I'm Josh.
And today we're going to be reviewing an anime called Diabolik Lovers. Diabolik Lovers is a Japanese visual novel turned anime created by Rayji and adapted to TV by Zexus. To be more specific, season 1 is based off of the Otome game, Diabolik Lovers Haunted Dark Bridal, one of 7 games in the series. Now that you know where this game came from, we can get on to the dumpster fire that is Diabolik Lovers, the anime.
Shu is basically
I'm washing me in my clothes. Drunk as fuck, bitch. I'm washing me in my clothes.
He's very nonchalant and seems to not care about anything or anyone, and it's true. He actually doesn't. You can just find him laying around in uncomfortable places, pretending to listen to his music. He tries to come off as a hero in the first episode by saving Yui from a brother gangbang, but later tried to drown her along with his nasty headphones because, mommy issues, I guess. He knows just about everything that's going on with Yui, but never seems to inform anybody about it. That's all I really have to say about Shu, because he doesn't have much of a personality compared to the other characters in the show, and he's barely ever seen, so you can consider him as more of a background character.
You'd best not even dream of messing with me, if you hope to stay alive.
Myto is one of the worst characters. Yui actually despises and hates this character. She's always pushing him off of her and writhing in disgust of his presence. He keeps calling her a little bitch, and 90% of his lines is little bitch. And Yui just answers it like it's her name. She would rather be called little bitch than pancake.
Well, that makes sense because you're my little bitch. Little bitch.
Myto is constantly licking her ear. I guess he's just trying to make her listen. But don't forget that time where he tells her there is no God and proceeds to molest her in a church and tries to double team her with his brother multiple times. And I don't know if this is from the game or not, but he was on the roof talking to himself about his lover and how he wants to be with this person, and then is never brought up again. Like, were we supposed to get to know this character so we wouldn't think he's a disgusting creep rapist person? Because it didn't work.
Stop that! Can someone please help me? Anybody! Please, God, help!
You shouldn't even waste your breath trying to pray.
Ayato is constantly referring to himself as yours truly, and is actually the first to claim Yui and attack her. He's the creepiest one out of all of them, because at the very least the others give her some alone time, sometimes. But he's always in the corner somewhere in her room, trying to figure out the best time to slide in her bed. No one actually knows if he has a crush on Yui or not, but he's overly possessive of her. We find out his mother wanted him to be head of the family, but that didn't really work out. He also has mommy issues, where his mom abused him as a child and tried to drown him or something. Then he goes and does the same thing to Yui and kisses her drowning body. There seems to be a lot of drowning in this show.
How tempting your skin looks without any fang marks on it. Yours truly will be the first to take you in so many different ways.
Kanata needs to be put in a mental hospital. Personally, to me, he's the most annoying character in this entire show. He's constantly talking to his ugly little eye patch bear. You would assume he's just a little crazy and maybe just needs a friend. Maybe he's the type of dude that starts laughing during the Joker movie.
It's not funny, John.
At least that's what Yui thought. But he gets mad at her for talking to his bear, who he talks to all the time. He slaps coffee out of her hand and then tries to kill her. He hates everything that she does, but sometimes he calls her cute, sometimes he beats his mom's grave, sometimes he bites her titty. You know how Rayji berates Yui's eating habits in like episode 3? In that same scene, Kanata was seen smashing the food on his plate and laughing hysterically. Anytime Kanata is seen with Yui, he's either abusing her, like everyone else in this house, or calling her selfish for caring about his well-being. And if he's not doing that, he's threatening to kill her and stuff her body. Or talking about killing himself. He's literally crazy and probably the worst one in my humble opinion.
Go ahead. Why don't you crawl around in the dirt some more and cry like the pitiful girl that you are? And then I might be able to find it in my heart to forgive you.
Subaru is actually the best character, but he suffers from really bad design compared to the others. That's all. Rayji is the second oldest brother. He's supposed to come off as the smart, uptight character, but instead he's just a narcissist that tries to point out weird flaws in people. At some point in the show, he killed his birth mother because she didn't care about him memorizing a book. Memorizing a book. He killed his mother over this. He also has an irrational hate towards his mom for showing favoritism towards Shu over him, even though their mom literally killed Shu's dog. He also tongue-banged his stepmother in Yui's body at some point.
Sweet home Alabama. Please don't do this!
You may as well save your breath. No one will hear you if you scream.
Uncle Richter. Oh, Uncle Richter. This dude is the creepy uncle of the family. He's mad because he isn't head of the family, so he unfolds a half-assed plan to make his dream come true. But it doesn't really make sense, and we'll talk about this later. He's supposed to be the gentlemanly character and actually shows Yui respect upon meeting her for all of 3 seconds. Then he starts calling her stupid and useless, just like everybody else. In short, he's a cuck. I hope I can say that on YouTube. In short, he's a cuck. And finally, how do we call her stupid without calling her stupid? Is our heroine, Yuiko Mori. At first, you feel sorry for her. I mean, her father literally dropped her off in a mansion full of bloodthirsty vampires in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone service so she can be sacrificed to revive their dead mother. But later on, you realize that she wants to be abused and puts herself in these awful situations. Any situation that she was in, she could have avoided at any point in time. She had plenty of times where she could have escaped or killed them or anything. Subaru actually left her a knife that kills vampires. And on a day where no one would notice, he tells her to run. But she stayed because she wanted to find out the truth. She's also so dramatic. God. She passes out at any given moment, like that one time where she sees the head of the family on TV, aka the vampire brother's dad, and she just faints. There's no reason for it. It's never explained. She just goes limp. It's really hard to feel sorry for her. And if you watch this anime, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you so much.
The plot of the show is just all over the place. So Yui is sent to this mansion by her father where she meets Ayato laying on the couch, minding his business. She realizes he doesn't have a heartbeat, and then his brother walks in, and one by one, all the brothers come out to figure out why she's there. After they all show their terrible personalities to her, Shu finally admits to knowing why she's there, and thus starts the plot of this story. Kinda. For the first 8 episodes, we just get the vampire brothers taking passes at Yui in various ways, such as insulting her.
It makes you sound arrogant and self-righteous. You're incredibly foolish.
Threatening her.
I will bind it so tightly that your blood flow will be cut off entirely, and your hand will rot and fall off at the wrist.
And biting her.
I need her.
The reason she can't leave this house in the show is because she's threatened that they'll find her and kill her. Even though they specifically were told not to, I'd take my chances. She was also given a chance to escape, but chose to stick around because plot, because plot. So after all the consensual torture, we get to the main story. The boys have this uncle named Richter, who is an obvious cuck, who wants to be head of the family. You would think that he would just kill their dad and just, assume the throne or something, Game of Thrones style, but nope. He decides to revive their dead mother, Cordelia, because she promised him that he could be head of the family. This is where the plot starts to fall through, because why would Cordelia have any type of power to promise him to be head of the family when she is one of 3 wives that their dad has? She's also dead, so yeah. So he uses Yui as a host for Cordelia to inhabit with a weird ritual thing that doesn't make any sense. And then the brothers start fighting over her. We get a quick flashback of the triplets actually being murderers. Richter and Myto start sword fighting in the living room for whatever reason. And then Yui stabs herself to stop everyone from fighting. But wait, Konna has a vial of his mother's piss that he keeps around in his teddy. Myto puts it in his mouth and spits it into Yui's. Then she's magically better and now a vampire? ? And for a moment, it seems like everyone in the room actually cares about her well-being. And then they added 4 OCs from DeviantArt in season 2 and started this shit all over again. So our verdict on this anime, what do we give this, Josh?
On a vampire torture fetish level, I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but just for a general anime, we give it a 3. First and foremost, we know this anime is based off of a video game. We know it's a dating simulator that's made for a specific target audience. And if I were into being trapped in a house full of bloodthirsty vampires that only tried to beat and rape me, it'd be perfect. This is the anime for you. But looking at it from a person who just wants to watch a good anime, it's pretty trash. The story is all over the place. The characters are unlikable, and no one ever explained where Subaru's mother went. Like, the other 2 were murdered, but Subaru's mother was just in a dungeon, or something like that, telling her 5-year-old son to go kill somebody. Biggest plot hole of 2019. If you watch this anime, we suggest you watch it for the comedic aspect. Yes, this isn't a comedy, but it's hilarious if you drink to it.